multiple Thai players that we see in tournaments on a regular basis. RedArchon just seems to be the name that continuously pops up.
Yeah, I can't even think of another name at the moment, to be honest,
yeah.
even though I know that I know some. Anyways, this game gonna get started. The map Entombed Valley. RedArchon against MacSed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are Valley spawning as the red Protoss, ladies and gentlemen, or indeed in the top right position as the blue Terran Artosis. Either way is good with us. We have the Thai Terran RedArchon.
And there he is, as you see, this guy is a sponsored player, absolutely. There is an esports scene down in Thailand.
Yeah, man.
And then down in the bottom left, of course, it is MacSed. I know he was with Invictus Gaming before. I'm not 100% sure if he's still with them. I can't quite remember. There's so many StarCraft pro gamers out there. My brain is really stretching to...
I think he might still be with them because I remember someone saying there was one Chinese pro gamer that was teamless, and it was only him. Was it FP1?
Tudming is teamless.
Yeah. So I've heard a lot of people say that he's a teamless player here.
I believe it. I absolutely do. They have a really good team structure out here. A lot of the teams have team houses similar to Korea. They practice hard, and China's definitely a country we're going to be hearing a lot from in the future of StarCraft 2.
Well, that's the cool thing about the Chinese pro gaming scene, is that the prominence where there's loads of Chinese players, sort of like top 6 finishes at MLG or crazy stuff like that.
Yep.
But they've invested in the infrastructure required to eventually get to that point.
Absolutely.
I don't think you don't really hear stuff about places that don't have a team house kind of environment just suddenly sprouting up with all these players that came out of nowhere. They all get nurtured somewhere. Are sort of investing in the future. And there's a chance that I think maybe in 6 months to a year's time, possibly part of the Swarm comes out, that kind of thing, we'll be seeing a lot more Chinese players take prominent positions in international tournaments. So it'll be really cool to see how they jockey for position and which one of them rise to the top.
And indeed, in StarCraft 1, they were amongst the best. But the issue that came up time and time again was just getting the visas for travel, because that can be difficult.
Yeah.
Just depending on what country you're from and what country you're going to, it can be very difficult to get the proper visa to go there and play a tournament. So we'll see. But anyways, we do see that MacSed did scout pretty quickly. It looks like it's going to be just a 1-Rax expand here from RedArchon. Meanwhile, MacSed looks like he's gearing up very likely for an expansion as well.
Yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary beginning of this game, as of course we just gas being taken from RedArchon. Yeah, the command center should be put down soon from him. Keep things pretty chill. Should be forthcoming.
Yep. We should see that. You normally want to get that Stalker out for a couple reasons. One, you chase off the SCV. Oh, a second Stalker. What is this? That's interesting. A second Stalker, if he's still going Nexus, to just make a second Stalker before the Nexus is something that we don't normally see, but it looks like we are going to see it now, which is fine. And the thing about that second Stalker is, on a map like this, you oftentimes do find people walk around the map with Marines and stuff like that. That type of strategy has become pretty popular. So we've seen a rise in 2 Stalker openers so that you can check the map a little bit easier, micro bit easier as well.
An SCV Stalkers move out, so you might even get hesitated just a moment with the SCV before moving up the ramp, and I think that's not going to be enough for him, though. And that's a pretty good example of that second Stalker coming in handy straight away.
Oh, definitely, yeah. There's no way for him to know exactly what's coming. It could be a 4-gate after the Nexus. It could be just quick tech. And so far, it's actually 1 gateway, which is, okay, 1 gate then Robo. So this is like this is a compromise build Oftentimes, you see people go fast expansion to Robo into 2 more gates.
Yeah.
Other times, you see them go 2 more gates into Robo, and they both have their strengths and they both have their weaknesses. This is somewhere in between there, and it's going to be pretty safe against everything.
Yeah, the end result for the buildings that he's going to end up are pretty much the same anyway, and he's going to be able to transition sort of into that nice sort of safe mid-game area where he still has a lot of options open to him, and he doesn't immediately have to go, right, I'm choosing this tech for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So he's going to scout out what RedArchon is doing and maybe react to that.
Well, we do have a very quick forge that popped up, and a Reaper for RedArchon.
Ooh.
That Reaper is like melting my brain right now. I wonder what you would do with a Reaper this late in the game on this map. You can only jump in through the natural area. So he's going to have to jump up there, get some scouting done, and try to get into the main base.
Without the Stalkers killing him, man.
Yeah, and you know what? I could see it happening because no one makes a Reaper this time, so MacSed should be out of position to deal with it correctly.
It could be. I get the impression that by the time the Reaper gets there, if for any reason any additional units have popped out of those gateways, he's going to have such a difficult time sort of moving from the natural expansion back into the main if he's trying to get scouting on tech done. It feels like such a strange timing. And there we go, immediately got into the main base, so it's not like he's about to... it's not like he's about to... anything that's going on. I just wonder what the Reaper can do later on, man.
Yeah, the Reaper might not end up being all that useful this game. But anyways, taking a look at what MacSed is doing right now well, he's getting a Twilight Council, and he got that really quick +1 armor, so we might be seeing him going into a 7 or 8 gate Charge Zealot Psystorm build, which you can either get aggressive with 8 gates, or with 7 gates you can go ahead and take a 3rd base. It's a good choice for this map.
And Psystorm, of course, really, really useful, especially at the choke points leading into the natural and 3rd base here. If you actually get a good position on a Terran opponent, you can just keep them holed up in their base, and we've seen Protosses sometimes do that on this map against Terrans and just sort of constrain them on 3 bases while they take another one themselves. It can be really effective.
Totally. Well, we do have the Templar Archives coming up, 4 more gates on the way. So now we're going to have to just wait and see. Let's see. 2 more gates, so that's going to be 6 total right now. And that doesn't tell us exactly what he's going to do. He could be going for aggression, he could be going for defense. And it looks like he wants to take his 3rd base. A probe was sent over, so...
Yeah, there we go. He's heading up the ramp now. Yeah. So, okay, so he's just going to sit back, chill out, be on enough gates that he thinks he should be okay defensively.
Yeah, if you have 6 gates plus Immortal or 7 gates, you should be able to hold off whatever Terrans sends at you as long as your micro's reasonable.
And there's the Psystorm.
Yep. It's a solid build. This is a map that it's dangerous to really commit to Colossus on early. It's late game Colossus is quite nice, but definitely not too early in the game, as those quick timings can go up your ramp and really make it hard to hold on to your 3rd base, if not your whole entire game. So I like the choice, but RedArchon isn't missing a beat. He's taking a 3rd as well.
Yeah, MacSed actually just flew an observer over the 3rd base, so he knows the timing of when that went down, and I think he saw that it wasn't yet an orbital command, so he knows that was just landed as well. Yeah. So I wonder if that's going to trigger into any sort of aggression to try and deny this 3rd base location. We can see a Marine here also knowing that MacSed is trying to take his own 3rd. In fact, he's going to take out the probe there at the 3rd base, which would be a little bit annoying for MacSed.
Well, you were right, Jarsar. 3 more gates on the way, +2, and Storm still being researched. And he's not making that 3rd Nexus. This is definitely exactly what you said. He scouted that, and he's decided to put on some aggression. So we'll see, can he go up and break through RedArchon? RedArchon's going to need bunkers, and he knows it. He's adding bunkers, but he needs even more than that, and he knows it. Really good play, really solid play here from RedArchon.
That army is going to take a little bit of time to get to the top of the 3rd base because the bunkers are kind of like funneling the bio through there. He needs to move up preemptively. Thank goodness he's about to do that now. And MacSed has the observer right on top of the army, so he knows everything that's going on. RedArchon, I think, doesn't know it's there because I'm pretty sure if he did, he would have scanned it by now. That's like a really good place to have vision. And maybe this is going to force MacSed backward, but RedArchon spent quite a lot just now on bunkers, man.
He did.
He can salvage them, but that's still minerals he's used in the meantime.
Yeah, that's totally true. But if he hadn't made those, I think that MacSed might have killed him. Yeah. But As is, that was perfect timing. I'm really super impressed with RedArchon and his decision-making here so far this game. And in fact, he's already going into Ghost. So he's on top of things. He's got his 2 eBays up. But, of course, we already have that +2 armor for MacSed. So this game definitely could go either way.